Hi yogis, this is Donna Marie and I just wanted to do a video on my yoga journey and why exactly I teach yoga and where it all came from, and a bit about me, a bit about my journey, and yeah, I just want to share with you my story, where I've come from, and what led me to teach yoga and want to teach yoga. So I'm Donna and I'm based in Bristol in the UK. I'm not from Bristol originally. I actually lived in Hertfordshire and Broxbourne for a long period of my life. I was born in Enfield in London, and so growing up from quite a young age, I was always quite creative and artistic as a person, and I never really enjoyed sport at school. It was not something I really was interested in. I was always the art type, like really loving art and really wanting to express my creativity and my inner self in a way. It was a huge skill of mine and a huge passion of mine, and it still is. I still do art to this day, and one day it's my goal to sell my art and to actually make money from my art, because all of it's inside of me, it just needs to come out. So that's a bit of a background about sort of my childhood and being quite creative as a kid. And then when I grew up, I went to college and I studied several fine art courses and creative arts courses. I went to university and I studied stage management and technical theatre at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. So I really worked in the production arts background, running theatre shows and live music shows, working on sound operation and lighting, set design, and did a little bit of working in the film industry as well, and in independent film production. So I loved that. I did that for a few years, and then after that I came out of that because I didn't feel that my heart was in that industry so much. So I was looking for some deeper connection to being able to help people, which led me on to working in the care industry. So from all my theatre background and my creative background, I just wanted to take a break from that, and then I went into working as a carer for 7 years. I was a carer for 7 years, so I worked my way up from just sort of starting out as a carer and then working my way up to a higher sort of level carer, and got lots of qualifications in that, and really I did enjoy it. And I was always the one that used to organise the activities, so the arts and crafts and the special events for people, and I used to be the one that was really good at doing that and being quite hands-on and personalised as a person. But again, it wasn't like fulfilling my heart. Like, I really felt drawn to wanting to help people on a deeper level. So for my own sort of healing journey, I've been through some sort of traumatic experiences in my life, quite a few traumatic experiences in my life, through various relationship breakups, so abusive relationships, and working through a lot of trauma, through an illness of mine. Well, it wasn't mine, but it was an illness, and so like chronic depression, severely bad, like really bad, and to the point where I'd lost my identity. I completely lost who I was. I was so, I don't hate using the word. I was broken. I did not have my identity. I fell out with friends, or friends fell out with me, and it was just a very messy time, and it really affected me on quite a deep level. And I found that my behaviours and my habits were not really just mine, they were the people's that I was with at the time's habits and patterns, and I'd pick their patterns up and their behaviours, and actually in the end those behaviours consumed me. So that's who I thought I was, this depressed, unhappy, negative, very clinically unwell person. So I have a lot of mental scars and wounds that have been healed now through yoga. But so from that, I moved to Bristol around 5 years ago. I think about 6 years ago now. Originally for a guy, but that didn't work out. But there was nothing really bad about that. It just didn't really click. We didn't really click. We're very different people, and it just didn't really work. So I moved on from that relationship. I had to move out. I had to move house. So I moved like so many times. It's unbelievable. In Bristol, in and around Bristol. I moved in with a couple that were not the right couple to be living with, and I won't go into too much detail, but again, it was not a very good point in my life, and it was again a very, very traumatic experience. So then that happened, and then I moved again. So I have moved so many times in Bristol. I've moved around, so used to moving around. I think it's why I just am able to just be quite easily adaptable. So I did that, and then from that I moved on to working in different jobs and just really trying to find what I wanted to do, and I just couldn't find what I wanted to do. I was completely lost. It was really hard to find, just trying to settle in Bristol, and it got to the point where I was just like, I don't know if I want to stay in Bristol anymore, and I kind of wanted to go back home, but I wasn't sure. But I eventually ended up staying. I went to college because I had an epiphany and a moment of a bit of a download from my subconscious saying you should go and study complementary therapies and like reflexology and go on a healing path. And that was just completely random. I remember actually it was just one day I was just got out of the shower and a little light bulb moment. It was almost like someone pressed a little light bulb moment on my head and ding, and it was just like, oh, I'll do that. I'll do reflexology. So I did. I did the spontaneous courage. It was quite a lot of courage at the time to just be like, yeah, I'm going to go and do that. I'm going to go, what have I got to lose? I've lost everything else. I might as well just do it and try it and give it a go. And it's then when you realise that actually things couldn't get any worse, so they have to go up from there. Before I even went to college, I also met someone else that was a narcissist. So I've had my fair share of, living and dealing with abusive people and being in abusive relationships and having a lot of abuses through jobs and being assaulted and in so many ways. And it's just, I just kept repeating the same patterns. I kept attracting the same people into my life. And I realised, looking back now, that was because I was at such a low point that I was attracting those negative people, those negative behaviours into my life because I had no self-worth, no self-esteem, no self-love, no compassion, no self-respect for myself, at all. None of that. Completely just lost my identity. So from that, with my partner before now, again, it was another traumatic relationship. And I just thought, God, how can it get any worse than this? And it didn't. It literally couldn't get any worse than that. It went up from there. We'd moved in house together and I had to move out, and I had to say goodbye to a little soul of mine. So that was that. And then through healing all of that, I say, well, healing all of it, I numbed a lot of it out at the time. I continued to work through my, I continued to work, and I didn't take time, I didn't take space for myself at the time. And well, looking back at it now, I wish I'd taken time and had taken space out, because I didn't. So what happened over the years is all these trapped emotions and this trapped trauma that I'd never dealt with had got stuck in my body, and it manifested as depression again, digestive gut problems, like to the point of just horrendous bloating and just awful, absolutely awful. Just low of energy, like low mood, just like lack of, again, that whole spiral of like lack of any self-worth, any of that. So my yoga journey, I decided to, again, it was another epiphany moment. I need to go back to new yoga. I'd always wanted to be a yoga teacher, but I told myself at the time I wasn't good enough. I couldn't do it because I didn't have the right body, or I didn't look right, or wasn't bendy or flexible enough, and you had to be super skinny to be a yoga teacher. And because that's unfortunately how some of the industry makes it look like, the people that don't really practice proper yoga, they make it look like that's how you have to be able to do yoga. It's not like that at all. That's not yoga. That's just exercise. That's not true traditional yoga. So, for all of that, which God, I thought was enough. I mean, I'm 32 now. It sort of all started when I was around sort of my 20s, really, and like just kept spiraling. And one day I just said, I need to go and do my yoga teacher training. Epiphany moment. I need to go and do my yoga teacher training. And I didn't know if it was, I thought originally it was just because I wanted to teach yoga, and I wanted to teach my clients how their bodies worked and what was going on with their bodies, and trying to get my clients to understand how we function, mind, body and spirit, and from my own sort of journey. And I didn't really realise how much of a journey I was going to be going on until it was like week 1 of my course, which was just like, I was horrendous. I was so scared, I was so nervous about coming. I started my first day, so nervous, and just, I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm making the right decision, and all of this stuff. My ego just was going crazy, and my body was just like on meltdown and breakdown, like, oh my God, this is the totally wrong idea, just going crazy, just, this isn't the right thing to do, this is the bad idea, my ego's trying to keep me safe. And I just went, no, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna fight this, I'm just gonna do it. And it was so worth it. I mean, it was an 8-month journey. It was a 200-hour yoga TTC in classical hatha practice and Shivananda yoga, with yoga philosophy and psychology and intensive chakra development. So it was a very, very spiritual self-development, personal development journey, and it's just blown my mind. I'm still reflecting back on it and to this day, and it saved my life. Like, yeah, if I could say anything about yoga, is it saved my life. It saved me. I got my identity back. Working through the chakra system is an amazing and self-transformation tool to self-discovery, self-inquiry, self-reflection, self-empowerment, transformation. And that's the journey I've been taken on. I feel like so empowered in my body, mind and soul to be able to live my life fully and authentically, and to sit in my personal power probably for the first time in my whole life. And it's just like transformational. Like, I don't have bouts of depression anymore. I have emotions, and I acknowledge emotions because I realised that for so long you push them away and you push them down, you don't deal with it, and the body just can't cope, and it manifests into illness. And learning yoga properly, actual yoga as a journey, learning how to teach yoga and all the stuff that we had to go through, all the self-work, all the self-development, all the unveiling of all these layers of belief and sabotaging, and all of these layers of just masks that were covering up our true self. So all the stuff I talked about earlier, it was just like, oh my God, I'm lifting off another vow, I'm lifting off another layer, I'm lifting off another layer, I'm lifting off another layer. And still to this day, I'm lifting off layers. I don't think it ever really stops. Once you start, it's like a bowl of snack, crack on pop, whatever they're called. Like, once you stop, you can't pop. Or once you pop, you can't stop. Because it is like that. Once you start and you have all these layers that are coming off and coming off and coming off, it's just like I'm discovering so many parts of myself I didn't realise I had. So many parts. And it's just blown my mind. And it's been the most transformational journey I've ever been on. And this is why I do what I do. Because I don't think anyone should have to struggle with their struggles day in and day out. I don't believe that anyone should have to suffer with the problems that keep you up at night. I don't think anyone should have to live a life of misery and unfulfillment when their soul is literally calling out to them, please find me again, please find me again. I don't believe anyone should be carrying around chronic illness, because it can be healed from the inside out, and trauma can be healed from the inside out. If you allow trauma to manifest and manifest and manifest, we become very, very unwell people. And our body screams at us and it tells us, you need to sort this out. I'm talking to you, I'm communicating to you. Emotions are triggers. Emotions just come up because they're triggers for you to acknowledge them, so you can look deep and find out, okay, what's the emotion now? What's going on now? Rather than just push it away and numb it out like I did for so many years. It's just 10 years of numbing out emotions. Can you imagine what that does to your body? And now I'm like, I'm unraveling, it's like a tape, I'm unraveling and finding another piece, and I'm finding another piece, and there's always a little bit in there, a little bit more, but I think I've taken a lot of the heavy stuff away, working through the chakra system. So the chakra system is the energy system, and there are 7 main chakras. So you have your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, your third eye, and your crown chakra. And I love using the chakra system as a tool for self-transformation and personal development, because it really teaches us about ourselves, gets us to look inside, gets us to listen to our wisdom. It gets us to not ignore what our body's telling us. It enables us to heal naturally without medical intervention from the inside out, so holistically, through mind, body and spirit. So I've been on, antidepressants in my 20s. I was on them for quite a while, and I will honestly say they didn't solve any problems I had. They masked the problem. I actually numbed it out even more because they are suppressants. They're suppressants. I'm not advocating that anyone else should do the same and come off their antidepressants, but there are other ways. And my beliefs and my values is that I teach and I believe that people should make their own choices, should make their own decisions, and I help people to find their own conclusions and their own decisions about their life rather than allowing life to make conclusions about them. Because unfortunately, as I've experienced, I used to feel that life was on top of me, life is giving me this to deal with, life is doing this, and I was just blaming life. But life, that's not the cause. It's actually what goes on in here, what goes on inside of us that radiates out into our external reality. So the way you live your life right now is what is going on inside, which radiates out. So that might be quite a trigger for some of you, and it's okay, because I know, and I've been there, when I was shocked and I was mind blown when I realised that I had a lot of inner work to be doing and a lot of healing to be doing. So yeah, it's for you. Yoga's for you. What I love to teach yoga is to listen to your heart, your mind, your body, and have that connection when you're doing your practice, whether you're doing your asana or you're doing meditation or whatever form of yoga you're doing. I teach people there to listen to their heart, to listen to what their body's telling them, to not force your body, and to listen and to allow your thoughts to come up. And especially yin yoga, where you literally allow your body to be able to process emotions. So it's a powerful tool for healing inside out. So I like to use yoga as a healing modality to the many other therapies that I do. So I think I have around 12 healing modalities now, a bit of a collector of healing modalities. So, but it's just the beginning. This is just the beginning for me on my journey. Hoping to do I'm not hoping, I will. I'm going to be doing my 300-hour teacher training next year, and I'm looking forward to that so much. I cannot wait. It's going to be amazing. So if I can give you any message today and anything to reflect on, I would say, I hope my journey has inspired you. I hope this video has inspired you to look a bit deeper into yourself and to look at your life and reflect on whether you're living your life authentically with complete joy and peace and contentment, or are there things in your life that need healed? Are there things in your life that need looking at? Are there things in your life that are holding you back? Do you need help with those particular things? Because I used to be a person that never used to ask for help. I used to want to do everything off my own back because I have this pride. But pride is such a low vibration. Such a low vibration. Pride is along the lines of fear and resentment. It's a very negative vibration to have pride. A certain pride depends on what sort of pride you have. If you have the pride of what I had, of like, no, I got it all, I can do it all myself, that's quite negative pride. If you've got, no, I'm proud, I've achieved that, I'm really proud, you can just feel the energy of this. It's different feeling completely. So, check in with your body when you're experiencing an emotion or feeling. Like, how does that feel for you internally? Does it like twist your gut? Does it affect your body in any way? And it's about checking in with yourself and listening to what you need. So you can ask yourself, what's the next step for me in my life? What's the next step? Your subconscious mind will get back to you. It's always in there. And in Yoga Nidra and in yoga, we very much listen to the subconscious. It's all about tuning into that innate wisdom that is within us, so we can really start to live our life authentically on a path that we want to follow, rather than being told how we should live our life. Because we can absolutely create anything we want to create. So I qualified in May after 8 months of the most life-changing experience I've ever had in my whole life. And I had to just start teaching straight away and get this stuff out there, because it is just... Yoga's not just about moving your body. Yoga's about feeling great from the inside out. Bringing back self-worth, self-esteem, confidence. Making you feel fabulous, fantastic, inside and out. Men and women. You know, there's a lot of men out there, and this message is for you guys as well, that yoga's not just for women, yoga's for men. And then it's my mission to actually reach out to you guys who are struggling with, either you're struggling with your health, mentally, physically, your stress levels are skyrocket, or you're trying to cope with an injury and you need support from a yogic point of view. I can help you with that. And men who want to really just get some good mind-body connection back, because there's actually no harm with that. You'll feel better, you'll feel happier, you'll feel more full of life, you'll feel more energized, you'll feel more focused, you'll have more concentration, you'll feel happier when you wake up every day, knowing that you've done something great for your body. You know, you've not just stuck another day gone by where you're just stuck and feeling like you had the same problem again and again and again. It's actually about dealing with the problem and getting it resolved, and rather than just coping with it or managing it, because just coping with it and managing it doesn't really resolve anything, does it? So you can use yoga as a tool for, releasing a deep-rooted problem that's been there for a while. So I teach one-to-one. I offer coaching, so I do online coaching with people, with my clients who want to go on the self-empowerment and transformation journey with me. I also teach meditations. I do lots of meditation evenings in Bristol. I also run a chakra and meditation online Facebook group, and that's for VIP members only. So let me know if you are interested in that. So yeah, I would say I have so many messages for you guys, but the message that I can give you through yoga is to let go of your fears, let go of what's holding you back, and start to say yes to yourself. Start to say yes to how you want to live your life. To not live in, I can't do this and I can't do that and it's hard attitudes, self-sabotaging, limiting belief attitudes, because they just don't serve you and you don't get anywhere, and you maintain very stuck and unfulfilled and unhappy. The day I said yes to myself, when I did the yoga, when I've done all my courses, it's just life-changing, transformation. Okay, yeah, it's scary. It's really scary to work through, that rooted stuff. But once you come out of it the other end and you look back and you reflect, no one do I know has ever said, oh, I regret that. They've always said, I'm so glad I've done that. I'm so overwhelmed right now. I love myself. I love who I am. I love my journey. I love where I've come. Wow. And you can just, they feel that happiness in their bodies, not just on the outside, but internally. And they don't have the materialistic means just to make them happy anymore. They know that happiness comes from within, and you have to allow yourself to be open to happiness and love and self-inquiry and reflection. So yeah, I teach chakra development. I teach spiritual self-development and empowerment, as I mentioned before. I teach about the heart-mind-body connection. And I teach meditation, so I do chakra meditations, gratitude meditations, and many other forms of meditation. I do chanting, I do chanting workshops, and I am a holistic practitioner, so I have 12 healing modalities, like I mentioned before, coaching, and the styles of yoga that I teach are Hatha Yoga, which is a more of a gentle, slower pace flow, really working through each pose and breaking them down and just making sure your body's feeling good. So Hatha can be gentle and slow, but it can also be more about building strength and support and surrendering as well. And then Yin Yoga is mainly floor-based mat work. No action at all, no activity. It's more about just being passive, so just allowing your body to completely surrender to the mat and just allowing your body to naturally unwind, and enables you to bring your body into the parasympathetic nervous system state of rest and digest, working through the Chinese meridian system and the chakra system. And I tend to theme my yin yogas as well, so like yin yoga for athletes, or yin yoga for digestion, yin yoga for emotional well-being, yin yoga for self-connection. So I theme a lot of my yin yoga. And I teach Shivananda, which is a very traditional, beautiful style of yoga, which is very structured, and there's a specific amount of poses, and you do the same poses every time. So that is the Shivananda yoga. And I love all the styles. I love teaching them all. They're all quite different. So if you're interested in learning more about what I do and how I can help you, and you have any questions, then please just ask, comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Or you can visit my website at www.thisyogic.life.co.uk. So thank you for listening to my yoga journey. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'd like to hear about what you do, and have you done yoga before? Whether you're thinking of doing yoga and you're not sure, you don't know what it can help you with. I make sure my yoga is accessible to anyone, and even if you're based in America, I can still help you with yoga. You can do coaching online or breath work. I can teach you breath work skills. I can teach you so many things online. So yeah, thank you, and I will be leaving you here with a couple of words. So don't allow any resistance or any of your obstacles to hold you back from the greater, truest potential that you have inside. This is Donna Marie offering you spiritual tools for self-empowerment and transformation. Thank you for listening to me, and have a great day.